that's good. Cool. Well, let's see. What do we have? It's been a little while since I was online. So last time I was here last week, I was focused in on this chart here, which is the 1,000 tick footprint chart. And it's been good. It's been fun, but just looking at the trades I've taken in the last, 3 weeks or so, what I've realized is that the 1,000 tick chart is still too small. If I had a 5,000 tick chart, that'd be great. But the reality is I think the setups are just too small, and I become susceptible to overtrading. I can feel myself getting into it if I go this way. So I've been looking for something bigger, and well, I just go back to what I've naturally got a lot of experience with, which is this 30-minute chart. And that's what I've been looking at for the last few days. So finding the big setups on the 30-minute chart, then zooming into the 1,000 tick chart, footprint chart, and taking the trades off of that. And this is one from earlier today. I got in here, so that would have been about 10:30, 11 p.m. last night for you guys, about 9 a.m. for me. But very simple setup, really. If you look at this, this is a 30-minute chart. I drew it up a little bit. You have the ascending wedge here after a move up. You had the breakout, did not retest. It broke out. Then it did a second ascending wedge. Then it broke out again, and then it did the retest, the second breakout. And that's where I got long, and it went through to the target. And that target, I found it from just looking to the left right there. You see massive resistance, sold straight down through. So very, very simple stuff again. Breakout, retest. But you got to have a consolidation first before you have a breakout. So consolidation, a breakout, and retest. In this case, a really perfect consolidation. Higher lows, basically an ascending wedge. And very, very, very simple trade. So again, when I saw this setup, as in when I first saw it, it looks something like this, where you have the consolidation, the good one, with the higher lows, then the breakout, and it's up here when I start looking at it, or even put an alert if the price comes to retest, then get involved. And when it got in there, that's when I got involved in the 1,000 tick chart. That's here. And yeah, what was it? It's about this zone somewhere here. Got the entry and went for the long. I shared that screenshot a little while ago in our group. So basic stuff. Again, nothing new, nothing that I haven't been speaking about for a long time. It's just look for the retest of the breakout. Don't get excited and chase the breakout. Just do it this way. Look for the retest. And that's been fun. It's actually easier. I find that I'm identifying these breakouts and retests on the 30-minute chart, which is pretty large. And again, you guys know I've been trading this chart for so many years. It's not a big deal. And just gives you more conviction. So but again, if I had something like a 5,000 tick chart or a 10,000 tick chart, something huge, then I'd probably use that. But simply just finding levels here on the 1,000 tick chart was just, you just find levels everywhere. It was too many. So nothing new, same old fractal pattern stuff, but only looking for one specific setup, just to retest or breakout, none of the other stuff. And I like it. So that's one. And I took another one here on the Dow Jones. Where were we? Yeah, right here. Earlier today, around 2 a.m. for you guys, for most of you in North America. So there's your little consolidation. You can see it got messy, but going right into this area, these two candles were interesting because I started identifying this as an ascending wedge just with two candles, kind of messing around with that previous resistance. So I just watched it. Then it broke out. Of course, I don't want to touch the breakout. And then it came back in. And I got involved somewhere in this area. It went in my favor, and I think it was here. Maybe it went in my favor and got out at break even. And then it didn't touch it again. Could have got in, but I wasn't there looking at it. So same setup again, catching the retest of the breakout after a decent consolidation. So that's it. Just two of those so far.
Can I ask you a question about your MES trade?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what on the 30-minute, you said you waited for the retest. I think it was 22:30. Yeah, exactly. And you said you got involved there. Do you mind sharing what, like, did you zoom into the 5-minute, like a 5-minute bullish candle, or what's the entry?
So the entry is once it gets back into this area on a 30-minute, that's when I go into the 1,000 tick chart. That's here. So I'm zooming in here. This is the footprint 1,000 tick chart. The footprint's going up, so it was a few hours ago. if you're looking at just naked trading, you have this candle right here. This is the bullish candle. The new high would be the entry with the stop below it. That's naked trading. But what I'm doing is I'm working with a footprint chart. So if I remember correctly, I'll probably have to look at the screenshot. Well, let me see if I can catch that screenshot here. I can bring it up here that way. The resolution's no good on that. Can't see it. But essentially, looking for the anomaly first to have a reversal. So it's coming down, then going up. So when it turns around, I want to see anomaly. So a massive red bar, big delta of more sellers than buyers. And it doesn't go down, it goes up. So that's the first thing. Then as it goes up, then I'm looking to the left and trying to find where were there serious sellers. And I want to see them in the same place over a couple of candles. Maybe they were here and then here. If I'm identifying basically a level, there were a lot of sellers, let's say over here, maybe they were up here. Wherever they are, once I start buying above that, so the buyers then have made a new high, overpowering the sellers, and you get the green bars above it, the heavy green bars. That's my entry confirmation usually, with a stop probably below the anomaly, or I can even go a little tighter than that, depending on what the footprints look like. But basically, I'm trying to get these tight entries on using the footprints. I'm not using the naked trading stuff. In this case, naked trading would have got me in about here with the stop down there. I'm not sure where I got in earlier, but yeah,
sorry, have you found that using the footprint charts makes that much of a difference than just the naked trading? Like why and I know you've said it before, but I mean, is there a measurable difference in using the footprints?
Yeah, I find with footprints, I'm able to get confirmation earlier rather than with the naked trading stuff where I'd wait for confirmation. I always wait for confirmation before putting on the risk. After the setup, get the confirmation, then put on the risk. And with footprints, I'm able to get them just a little earlier, which, and I can put a stop loss half as wide as I used to with the 1 minute charts. So far, that's been my experience in the last month or so that I've been using it. That's been really good. In this particular case, if I just use a 1 minute chart, probably would have had a similar entry, I'm assuming. I don't know. I haven't looked at the 1 minute. But really, I've been finding that the entries are better. And most of the trades nowadays are in the 10-hour category compared to previously where I would average out 3R when I would target 5R, but average out about 3R usually with options. Of course, that was different. But these are good, man. I like these footprints. They're fun. And over here, yeah, so if you're looking at the reversal thing we were just talking about, what's the entry criteria? Let's say you had that here. This is just in the other way around. But you know what? Let's do it the other way. Let's go with a long, since we're talking about a long. So let's say it was here. What we looked at earlier was, Joe was asking, what's the entry? So it came from up to down, and it starts to bounce off. That would be the retest of the breakout on the 30-minute, but over here on the footprint chart, it'll have to look something like this, where you can see there's a big anomaly, lots of sellers right down there, and it didn't go down. Instead, this candle goes up. It closed over there. Once this candle proves to me it's not going down, basically it closes there, then I'm looking to the left. I'm trying to see where is there a level of sellers. And it was right here. You can see them all 3 candles in a row. They're right here. If you look further to the left, you can see they're kind of heavy up in this area too. So this is where my knife would go to right away. So after this closes, then once I start getting heavy buying volume above it, which happened to be in this case up here, as soon as I see that starting to happen before the candle closes, I'll probably hit the button to enter. You can put a stop down below or stop below these sellers that you were trying to wait for confirmation with. And that's the stop. That's how I enter these things. And that's really it. Firstly, the anomaly, and then I want confirmation that the buyers are overpowering the most recent big sellers. And the RVR has been pretty good in all the trades I've taken in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks or so. So yeah, fun with it. Yeah.
Bobby, we'll put your white line where your entry and your stop was again, please.
Where were we looking? Here. So the entry would be here where these green bars are.
Got it.
And the stop, if I'm feeling aggressive, I put it right below these buyers here. Sorry, these sellers here. So right down here.
Got it.
More conservative below these the anomaly here. So,
very nice. Thank you.
Yeah. These are pretty cool. I gotta say, I'm really hooked on the footprint charts, man. More than the tick charts, it's the footprint charts that are interesting. Really getting the details out. I'm able to just get these entries. Pretty cool.
Maybe can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you use volume footprint for exit or target as well, or do you just use a level?
Just a level. Just a level. You know, the thing is, if I want to use some sort of footprint indication for an exit, I'm gonna have to sit there and watch this trade all the time, and I'll always exit before I should. A lot of my trades last 5, 6 hours, 10 hours. We're not gonna sit there looking at it. No way. It's not 80-20. You know, there's so many reasons. Like in this case, if you were long here, for example, you had a thesis and your target would be wherever, somewhere up there, you would have exited, I don't know, 5 times up here by now, thinking, oh, that's as far as it's gonna go. But it's so, you know, tiny. I'm just picking up the bigger picture where I'm on the 30-minute chart here. Where is it? There you go, 30-minute chart. I'm trying to pick up these big levels. So my entry was here. When it got up to here, I may have exited if I was looking at the footprint, right? You probably see a reversal indication, weakness, all that. But it's really nothing. That's where the real target is. And that's nothing more than looking here. And you can see that's where they were sellers previously. So that's where I'm targeting. Sure enough, now it's gone above that as well. But that's the easy way to go, you know. I don't want to do more work than I have to. 80-20.
Oh my God. What about the daily time frame? You said last week you were using it for volume footprint as well. Are you still using it?
Yeah, I used it last week, and here's what's interesting. Thanks for bringing that up. I forgot about that. Let's go to the daily. Yeah, this is it's a bit messy. Anyways, so daily, when was that? I believe that was the one day I did use it was Friday, which was here. Yeah, this is Friday. Look at this particular day. It was a massive downtrending day. It just happened to be that way. So I think using it that way was simple. On that day, it worked. But the method that I was using, if I used it on this next day, on Monday, that would have been a mess. Because really using these charts, what I was doing was, let's see if I can zoom into looking at these daily charts. I was doing something like this where, yeah, so this is Friday. Let's look. So from Thursday, the most previous activity, you have the low of the day. You have heavy volume right there, right? Heavy selling. Right, that's interesting, which also happens to coincide with the open on a few days prior, which also happens to coincide with the low on a few days before. So big turnaround there. So this area right here would become very, very interesting. So on Friday, when Friday opens, I would wait for it to go down, break down through it. And once it's down there someplace, broke down through it, I would then just put the order. I'd put a limit sell order right about here. If it pulls back, enter with the stop right above it, and then I'd pick a target for the lower. In this case, that's exactly what worked out. So it broke down, came back up, it got me filled, and went down to the target. No big deal. You can do that, but for that to really work, I think you need these big trending days. On days like this with small candles, I think you'll really struggle with that. It was a method I was playing with, and that was last week. I was toying with it, and on Friday I decided, okay, let me see if I can put a small risk on or a few trades and try it. And it was fine. I got 3 10-hour trades. Okay, no big deal. But I think that's more to do with the day than the actual trading method. So I'm not going to stick to that. Unless you can tell me with absolute guarantee that today's a trending day. Okay, then use it. It's a simple way to trade. But I'm not going to stick to it. I think you get more days that are small candles and they're jumping around. You don't know what's going on, that sort of thing. You need a little more detail, just a little more. But again, the thing is, the key concept, I don't care what you're using, what I'm doing here with the key concept is looking at the footprints to find levels rather than looking at candle wicks and candle levels like I used to with that particular method. Just looking at previous days' activities, the last few days. You can see I'm looking at, here's an open, that's an interesting point, but really here's a turnaround point right there. You can see the big anomaly was there. Oh, sorry, the big anomaly, where was it? Sorry. The big anomaly was here where there were lots of, there was a lot of buying. Where did it go? Oh, I thought I saw a lot of selling, sorry. I got this all mixed up. Here it is, sorry. There it is. See this? This is interesting. Overall, this day opened here and closed here. But right here, there was a lot of selling. That's an anomaly. It should go down from there, but it didn't. It went up. So that's a key point right there. My eyes go straight to that. And I look to left and right of that. So you can see the left, that was a turnaround. That was a low of the previous day. And turns out it was a low of, this was Thursday. And so on Friday, if it breaks that, that's a key point to break through. Volume started coming in. The price was down here. I put the limit order up here. If it goes up and fills me, great. Then off you go down. But be careful with that sort of thing. I think that would be not so consistent. Wow, these things are a mess on this chart, huh? Anyways, so the 30-minute chart's something I'm very comfortable with. You guys have seen me use it for so many years. Just put it back on. Again, main thing is just to be able to find setups and levels on it, and then go into the tick chart to find it. Oh, and here's a fun one. I'll show you something here on the Dow Jones. When I took the entry on the Dow Jones here, I did not do it on the 1,000 tick chart. I actually got into the 10 tick chart, which is this one. It's a lot faster. If you're watching it now, while we have the New York session open, let's zoom into this and really look at it. It's a lot faster than, of course, the 1,000 tick chart. I guess there isn't much activity now. It's still slower than most things. But basically, every 10 ticks, the candle closes, so it's pretty fast. But the reason I went into it earlier today is because I went to the 1,000 tick chart when I saw the setup on the 30-minute, and it was a screenshot. It was not moving. Well, I'm looking for where's the anomaly, where are the buyers coming in? Are they coming in higher than the most recent sellers? Are they overpowering the sellers? All that stuff, right? Looking at the 1,000 tick chart for like 10 minutes, it wouldn't move. So there was no point. So I was zooming. I went to the 100 tick. Still, it wasn't moving. Then I went to the 10 tick, and that's when I found the interesting point to enter. I shared the screenshot here. It's let me see if I can pull that up on this chat. Like I can. Anyways, you'll see it's in our Discord. On that 10 tick chart, I was able to get it. So I'm not married to the 1,000 tick chart. If it's too slow, I'll just go to the 10 tick. If the 10 tick is too fast, then go to the 100 or the 1,000, whatever. Just go with something you can read, basically. Not too fussed about it. So it's interesting. Lots of different ways to do things, but I'm trying to keep things very simple and trying to identify big setups, big trades, big RVR. And for me, the simple ones are nothing more than the retest of a breakout. Those are the highest conviction trades, as in the win rate is higher for me. And then, of course, RVR with the footprints. So that's fun.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, of course.
You are you using TradingView for your entries, exits, for everything hooked?
Yeah.
Or sorry, it's synced up with ID, I think.
With Ninja, I'm using Ninja right now for
Okay, but entries, everything is through TradingView.
Yeah. So I've linked the broker with the TradingView, and so I can use the buttons here on TradingView.
Yeah,
and it's the trade button and all these things to enter and exit market.
Any problems with slippage or with putting a range order and not getting filled?
No problem at all. Again, I'm trading. Generally, my trades are during times when the market's very slow, overnight. But I have taken, I think 2 weeks ago, I took one or two positions within the first 30 minutes of the New York Open. It wasn't a problem. Getting filled was no big deal. So no, I think it's fine. I'm very comfortable with this so far. And let's see what happens when I scale it up. But for now,
yeah, I've only used it for swing trades. So as far as fill is concerned, I'm not worried about it. I didn't even really pay attention because they're longer, they're more investments. But I am very seriously considering completely getting rid of DOS and only trading futures and only using TradingView. And for me, I'm with Interactive Brokers, so I'm already my account is already hooked up with them, but I just haven't tested actual day trades with TradingView. So I wanted to know your experience with it.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine. I think what you're doing is, well, it's exactly what I did 6 months ago. Got rid of DOS and got into this because there's a lot of good advantages here. For one thing, it's not hyperactive like DOS, so you don't get triggered. For those of us who struggle with getting triggered, get overexcited, it's moving, let's go with it. You're FOMO and chasing. That's less of a problem. Just with the platform, it's less of a problem. So that's a good thing. And also with DOS, it's pretty expensive. For my subscription, it was $600 a month. If you're not using the fees, using the feature, it's not worth the fees. The features are basically rapid fills and all that. You need that if you're gonna go with massive $1 million account and go trade the open and do stuff like that, which is, I don't think you even need to do that. I don't think you should ever use $1 million account for trading. It's not necessary. So yeah, DOS doesn't make any sense to my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Is what I do like is being able to have 10 tickers on one screen. I like being able to get a really good view of the market, and I cannot do that with TradingView.
Oh, you can. Here, I'll show you. See this little button up here? You can
Yeah.
set up the layout however you want. You want 10 tickers. So this one's for 10. So let's do that. Let's click on that. There you go. Got 10 screens. We can make it wider. Let's get rid of this. There you go. Just load up the tickers you want. Make it 10.
I did not know you could do that. Where it's at the, sorry, can you go back to it?
It's right here on the top. This
Oh,
right
okay. It's just an empty square right now.
Yeah, because that's one screen, empty square.
Yeah.
I mostly use it as 2 screens, but you can set it up however you like, really. It's very easy, this platform. It's amazing what's
it's because of my plan. I'm only on the whatever the essentials.
Okay.
But if I cancel out DOS, then yeah, I'm going to go with the ultimate or whatever. Well, which one do you have that you have TradingView Pro on the side?
It's I don't know. It's the highest level of it, premium or ultimate or whatever it's called. I don't know.
Ultimate, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the one with the tick charts. It's the only one that has tick charts. It's the highest level subscription. So I got that. Yeah.
Great.
I think it's a great platform. Very easy to use. There's never any need for something crazy like DOS. I mean, again, you want to go blow up accounts, TradingView open, go use DOS and do all that. We've all seen that before. Not necessary.
Yeah, I use I have the ultimate also on TradingView, and I have DOS, and I renew my TradingView every year, either at July, 4th of July or at Black Friday, because they have the best deal there. And I love it because I switch between my laptops, my iPad, and my phone. And that little toggle where you can go from 16 charts down to 2 or 1 is very useful.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's got a lot of great features. And I agree with you with the phone. Actually, all of these trades, if you look at all the screenshots I've shared in the last couple of weeks, they're all from my phone. So I've taken all these trades off my phone. That's something like 8 in the morning. It's like I'm just finished with the gym and I'm looking at the phone, sitting inside. And there you go. There's a setup. So I put it on. That's how my trades have been in the last couple of weeks. All of these, even the 2 that I put on today. My kids are using their laptop and computer now anyway with all the homeschooling stuff. I don't get to use it, so I'm doing it on the phone. And
yeah, I'm trying to get rid of DOS also. Still not there yet.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of us are on the same boat. I'm looking at it right now, and it's funny what you just said with the triggering, Avi. Just having level 2 and time and sales just zooming by. And on SPY, all of a sudden, if it picks up, your eyes go to it, and you get triggered. And I don't use it that much. And actually, I say I don't use it that much. I mean, I like to see the orders and but they can be spoofed, right?
Yeah. They can absolutely be spoofed. That's the thing. The level 2 is just. I mean, again, I used it for a while. And I do think it's effective only for scalping, as in you're very close to that big block, that big order block, and then you can rely on it. But otherwise, I mean, especially for the kinds of trades I'm talking about here, the 10-hour kind of trades, it's a complete joke. Level 2, forget about it. It's all spoofed anyway. So yeah, it's not necessary. And as far as the tape is concerned, I really like the footprint charts. I'm feeling like I can get the same and more information. You even get basically the historical tape. At the footprint charts, and you can configure it however you want. I've configured it just to show delta, but you can see the buyers and sellers individually. You can see the ladders, whatever you like. It's got it configured like this, which is easy to read. I don't even need the little tables, the summaries at the bottom of candles. It's not necessary. So yeah, it's easy.
Just a reminder, Avi. Sorry, I don't want to take everybody's time, but actually, I've got a question. And it reminds me that you said that you would answer a question about your TradingView, how you set it up with the colors and everything.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if those people that asked the question are in here, but do you mind sharing how did you set it up to have just the delta on the ticks?
Yeah. So let's go through that. That's a good point. A few people asked about it. Thanks for reminding me. So right click and go straight down to settings. And these are the settings I've got for now. Let's go to symbol up here. And there we go. That's just to do with the candles. The row size I've done in manual, 3 ticks per row. Most people have that on auto. Manual seems to work for me. I can read it easily. And displays profile. I think this is the one. Not cluster profile. And here, type delta. This is the one. You can see buy and sell the total or the ladder. You can see the differences here. Just look at this chart. If you look at buy and sell, you can see the sells on the left side and the buying on the right side. You go with total, just gives you total volume, buy, sell, overall, everything. And if you go with ladder, there you go. You kind of have to start reading it diagonally. But I think for the information I'm looking for is just delta. I think I can read it pretty simply here. Like for example, right here, I can see, yeah, got to the top. There were a lot of sellers, much more than buyers. It's not saying that there were no market buyers. There were just a lot more market sellers than buyers. And it went up. Makes sense. It's not an anomaly. Nothing unusual happened there. So I get it. Makes sense. I can just read that by looking at it in half a second. I like the delta thing. It makes sense. Easy enough. And these other things here, I've removed these. Most people have the summary and the point of control imbalance. I had that last week, I think. It's not useful. Not for me, at least. And that's it. Beyond that, there's nothing. So what else have we got? Status line. These are just usual settings. But that's it.
Share your you can share your layout there, Avi. You can post it. Yeah, you can post it, and then people would just, if you have TradingView, you just click on it, and it'll open up as a tab.
Oh, cool. Can you tell me how I do that, please?
Yeah, let me see. I haven't done it in a while, so I'm just going to try to remember.
Cool.
How to do that.
Yeah, that might be useful.
Okay, reload, copy link. Try if you right click on the tab. Let's see if that works. Copy link. And then see if I can post in my Gmail just as an example.
Well, we're having that same problem here again on the Dow Jones. At the moment, I'm seeing, again, these higher highs and lower lows. And, be careful here. This area is tricky. It's not the
control.
See.
And,
there we go. Oliver saying TradingView is having a sale through Easter, 80% off. Cool. Very good. Thanks, Oliver. I bought it up. Even I got it at like some 70-80% discount. So yeah. Cool.
Share.
All right. Yeah, while you're figuring that, we'll go through some charts here and see what we have.
Yeah, I just Googled it. I totally forgot those.
It's all good. So for now, on the S&P, we're getting a little consolidation here. I don't see much. If it breaks out, then I'll look at it and perhaps a retest. You can see where it's putting in a top, right? That's interesting. For now, it's got lower lows, but let it be. Let it sit for a while, then we'll look at it again later. So it's nowhere near ready to trade, the way I see it at the moment. Let's go to the M&Q. Same story. I think I saw a setup earlier on M&Q. Yeah, right there. This is yesterday. Look at that. Flat top. And the higher lows happened eventually before it broke out. And when it did break out, you can see the price is moving up in this area. Then you come and look at it and try to catch that retest. Now, if you go in this case as well, again, these higher lows breaking through. This happened at about 12:30 yesterday, so around about now, 24 hours ago. And yeah, breakout. And once it breaks out on a 30-minute, you'll see it probably somewhere in this area. You can already start looking at the zoomed in chart. If you like the 1 minute, 5 minute, whatever. I like the tick charts. And within a 30-minute candle, you can get the retest and go. You'll look at those sorts of things. So look at that. The market is so abundant. Yesterday, there were already 2 setups there on MNQ for this kind of setup, for this kind of trading. Earlier today, I can see this area. If you look at this, this is interesting. Let's see the little line and draw it. I think I was looking at this. I don't remember. Anyway, so
There it
this
is. Okay.
breakout, and you get interested for the retest, right? If it comes down, so let it come, and once it comes, you try and watch your smaller time frame for your setup. And if I see a 30-minute chart beginning to chop around that breakout level like this, probably at this point, start to identify that. That's it. I'm not going to look at it anymore. Forget about this breakout level. Forget about this retest. It's just messy, right? This is an hour and a half. This is what, 2.5 hours where it's messing around with the retest. This is where you don't want to play. Probably after 1 or 2 candles, you figure that out. I don't think I was watching it here. I probably would have taken 1 or 2 attempts here and stopped out. I didn't, so I wasn't looking at it. But there you go. You got to watch for those sorts of things. And now what do we have? Here we go. Let's bring that line up here. Oops. There. So we have, there we go. We have this little consolidation. You can see it's pretty much a flat top. Breakout seems to be happening. I'll let it go a little distance, then we'll revisit this. Maybe in 10 minutes we'll get something. I don't know. Let it genuinely go for a bit. This is a 30-minute candle, so it's pretty large. Plenty of setups everywhere. It's even here. I think earlier today we may have had it. Let's go. Let's look at the Russell 2000. Bit of a consolidation happening here. It's very slow though. Oh, here we go. Look at this one. Similar to the Dow Jones we're looking at. So you had that breakout off of this consolidation, again, higher lows. And it came down and messed around with the retest zone, right? If I see this on a 30, then I'm not going to play with it. But if on the footprint chart, I may find a setup once, maybe take it, maybe get out of break even, maybe stop out twice. I don't know. I did stop out once at break even today on the Dow Jones on something like this. Well, that's it. You manage your risk, and if you get the winner, you know, off you go. NR, so you can afford 3 or 4 attempts. No big deal.
So, Abby, I've got it for you. If you want to share that, exactly. Yeah. So, take your cursor up to where you select the number of chart panes you want, and then go to the right. Go to the right of that. You see a little drop-down arrow, just right next to the name. Yeah, click on that. Make sure you have sharing enabled, and you do. And then you just you can just
copy link.
Copy link. Yeah, copy that link and then just paste it in the chat or paste it wherever you want. And then whoever has TradingView, if they click on that, it'll open up your chart.
Oh, fantastic!
And then they can copy it or rename it to their own program, and then they'll have it.
Nice. Thank you. Love it.
Sure.
All right, so yeah, a few guys were asking. I'll share this. But yeah, mine has all the tick charts, and also I guess it also depends on your subscription to be able to have tick charts.
Right. You need the I mean, in the ultimate, you have all of that, including sub 1 minute charts.
Gosh, can you imagine that 30-second charts? I can't even. Wow. My head is so far.
When I trade the open, then I go sub 1 minute, and you can get a lot of resolution just on the chart instead of having to look at the, having your eyes on the level 2 and the time and sales.
Oh, well. Interesting. I might do that just for fun one day when we're doing happy hour. I'm just like, okay, let's look at this. Because it's something. I'm actually moving far away from that, right? I'm trying to go away from that stuff. That's interesting. Good to know. Can watch it.
Well, as I get older, it helps keep the dementia away.
Oh man, you're a long way from that. You don't have that problem. All good. Nice. All right, let's look at some real-time action. So this was, I was sharing this yesterday. You can see this higher highs and lower lows. You don't want to play with it. Sure enough, the breakout happened, but where from? Where do you catch it? You try to catch a long here, you stop out twice, maybe 3 times. I don't know. There's no, I don't like these higher highs and lower lows setups. It's just more and more volatile, less and less defined activity. We're having that now the way I see it as well on the Dow Jones, higher highs and lower lows. I'm not going to play with this until it exits this area and does something else. Let's look at oil. What are these lines I've got here? Right, yeah. So this was a great big zone. So I put 2 lines there. Earlier, overnight broke out, came right back. Look at this choppy mess. There's really nothing to look at. But look at this. A few days ago, this was interesting. 30-minute chart. Again, you have the obvious resistance. It got back up to it with the higher lows. It's a 30-minute chart. The breakout let it happen, and it never did a precise retest. But if you're watching it on your smaller time frame, maybe you find something here. You find an anomaly on a footprint chart, on a 1,000 pick footprint chart. I would look at it somewhere here. I don't think I was looking at it on this day. You can see there's opportunities everywhere. All the time. That's amazing. For now, though, yeah, it's been in this big, difficult zone. And forget about it for now. You never know. In the next 2 hours, it could clean up, right? You never know. Clean up. Look at gold. Ooh, it's on its way, huh? What do we have? I had identified this consolidation, but look at this. This is a bit of a problem. How do you identify a top? Would you put it here? Something like this? And you say, okay, there's a consolidation if it breaks out. All right. The breakout happened. The retest never happened. Doubt we'd ever get an entry there. And move this thing forward at the same area. It's very difficult to identify. What I would probably do is, once it does this false break, comes back, I'd probably just put this here and say, all right, this is the whole zone. Looks like the breakout happened a little while ago, earlier today. If it comes back to that area, we can look at it. We looked at it maybe 2 hours ago. Here we are. Again, an opportunity. I like the higher lows here before it went. And what I want to see is the breakout. Let's see the breakout here. So this was the resistance. And when it went through the first time, came back in, there was no significantly massive, bigger volume above, as in buying, lots of buyers. And this one, the buyers were here, further out. So that is interesting. Looks like the buyers are really there in this area. Looking at footprint charts, what would be interesting is to watch it come back and bounce off here and go. That's likely. It probably happened on the next candle. So anyways, the quality of the breakout here is not so convincing, because this, to me, is the big area. I want to see immediate buyers, like right over here, this big green bar. I want to see it here. Then I'd have conviction. All right, there's a lot of big, heavy buyers over here. Turns out the buyers are up here, and over here, I don't see this as a resistance to a consolidation and then a breakout. There's nothing here. So I would struggle with this one. It's not the quality kind of setup. But on the other side of it, you're getting another one now. Again, higher lows at the top. It did a false break just a moment ago. We'll keep an eye on it. Everything looks bullish for oil. Oh, sorry, for gold. This is gold futures. Let's see what happens up here. Again, you can see it for zooming out. See an ascending wedge. It's pretty obvious. So there's plenty of opportunities, and if it doesn't look right, you don't have to touch it, right? There's so many opportunities everywhere, and even with this, what I call a rather conservative trading style, which is, you're on a 30-minute chart, you want to see good quality consolidation, you want to see a good quality breakout, then you're looking for the retest. All that together, it seems like it's quite conservative to wait for all of that stuff. But just now, in the last few minutes, we've already seen there's so many opportunities every day just on that. So really, I don't understand FOMO. There is no logical place for FOMO. It's an emotional thing, of course. So really, the market is tremendous. It's abundant. It's a gold mine. We just need the abundance mindset to be able to participate. So let's see if this one works. Maybe we'll look at it later. What about silver? Where are we? Silver. Oh yeah, so I identified this yesterday. I didn't trade it, I think. I looked at this in hindsight. Again, higher lows. You have the resistance, the breakout happened. Then it got messy. I haven't traded this in a while. Where are we now? Again, same idea as gold, right? Let's put the levels here. See what happens. So you're getting same kind of wedge, higher lows. You got a well-defined top. The breakout seems to be happening now, and this is what I like to call a good breakout. Compared to what we saw in oil, you can see now the heavy buyers so far seem to be coming right above the resistance area. That's a good one. I like that. Let it go for some distance. After it goes for a bit, then look for it to catch the retest. So this one looks much better than gold. You can see the obvious difference, right? The heavy buyers are just above. You want to let them push it a while, then come back and catch them. This might happen later today. Hopefully not too late, because I am in Dubai and the time zone is a bit tricky for all this trading. There you go. This is okay. It's a decent high as well. And all this other stuff, not really bothered with. I have these on the list, but not much. Anyways, yeah, so that's that. That's what's on my mind these days. Just looking for the retest of a breakout on a 30-minute chart, because I was doing exactly this same thing on the 1,000-tick chart 2 weeks ago, and you just find too many. And now that's just problematic. So going back to what I know how to trade, what I do best. 30-minute chart, zoom in after that. Fractal patterns. No big deal. And you gotta say, man, these footprint charts are a game changer. Very simple to read. So many times you don't enter the retest because the footprint doesn't look right, doesn't have the anomaly, doesn't have the major buyer coming in, doesn't have all that, so you don't enter. And I still find 5 trades a day. Really. It's amazing. Anyways, what's on your minds, guys? Anything you want to discuss? Any questions? I know I've been away for a little while. If you have anything accumulated in your mind, now's your chance. What you guys hear, Hamza? You saw break and retest on copper futures today. Micro, okay, let's look at copper. I haven't looked at this chart in a while. Break and retest at what? 5.6. Okay, so where's 5.6? Down here. All right, I see what you mean. I'm looking at this 30-minute chart. So let's put the level here. You can see this obvious wedge. Again, same sort of thing that I like to see. Right there. The breakout happened with, let's see, were there buyers up here? Yeah, you can see that the buyers got heavy in this area, right above the resistance. Right? That makes sense. A good breakout. So then I'd be interested in the retest. Let's see if it came and did it. It did. There you go. Happened like 10 hours later, but it happened. And at this point, you want to look at it. I like to look at a 1,000-tick chart. So let's look at that. This is the right one. We don't have the footprint information here, huh? It's a while ago. No, we do have it. Very good. Okay, I got the 10-tick chart here. Let's go to the 1,000-tick. Where is it? No, we gotta go further out. Here it is. Okay, 1,000-tick chart. So right away, look at that. Right away, you can see it. There's an anomaly here. There were lots of, sorry, not an anomaly. This is normal. There are lots of buyers here and it pushed up. I like to see an anomaly where there's lots of sellers, and it should push down, but it did not. It pushes up. So nothing wrong here, and therefore I won't trade it. I want to see an anomaly with the footprints. I want to see lots of sellers, and then the price goes up. So that's these are buyers, and the price goes up. So that's normal price action, which is, to me, I don't want to trade that. Sure enough, it worked, but just looking at that right here, that would keep me away from it. I want that big anomaly near the bottom there. And then I want the buyers further up, overpowering recent sellers, which right here you can see them. They're right here in a row. Even in this area, kind of stepping up. But really, I think over here is where I'd be looking at. And if I got the anomaly down here and then a big green bar starting to print up in this area, just above it, in any of these candles, that's when I would get it triggered to enter. So the way I'm reading footprints, no, I wouldn't touch this. But if this was just naked trading, as far as retest is concerned, you want to come and retest, you're looking for the first genuinely bullish candle, which is this one. Right? It closes up here, hardly any selling on it. And then the new high is the entry. This barely made a new high. If you don't manage to squeeze that one, well, next one makes an obvious new high. You can enter on that one above this bullish candle. And this the stop is usually below the bottom of the retest, right about there. That's naked trading stuff. But yeah, hey, good catch, Hamza. It's pretty good. It's there. I'm just not into this stuff. This is, when it prints green here, it's saying that basically the market buyers, the guys who came in call it impulsively and hit the market order to buy here, they're the ones who made this price move. Not the big patient players who are sitting on the order book for a long time, waiting for the price to come down, and then they got filled and go. That's what causes these anomalies, the major guys on the order book. I want to see those big players. I'm really trying to identify the big ones, because once they take charge, and then you have the impulsive market guys coming in and pushing it further from there, now you have plenty confirmation to go. And then you get into a real big one. That's what I'm looking for. Those are the ones I like. So it's really, to put simply, it's how the limit orders and market orders are interacting with each other. And once you read that, now you're really quite literally reading the tape, or reading order flow. Same thing, really. And then you're having fun with it. But yeah, good setup overall. I like this. Let's look into a smaller tick chart to see if there's an opportunity on this, or if there was. So go to the 100 tick chart. Maybe on this we would find an anomaly. So right in this area, no, I don't see it. Again, I'm seeing buyers, more green, a little bit of red here, but really, these are all buyers impulsively buying. Not gonna get involved. So, different kind of game, huh? Totally different. Again, the only reason I'm getting into all this now, beyond all the naked trading stuff, is because of the precision. The precision entries that I'm able to get, where I can put the stop loss very tight, or get the entry very close to where I want to stop. It's really amazing. Once you get that, that just naturally expands the RVR. I haven't really changed the way I look for targets. I'm just looking at levels as targets. But to be able to get the entry very, very close to where you need to put your stop, that's the key. That's the RVR. And then, you know, anything that's 5 hours just doesn't make sense anymore, which is a real mindset shift. But hey, that's where it's good. And for now here, let's see, on copper, we don't have any setup. I don't see anything. We have a consolidation here, but there's nothing going on. Anyone see anything worth looking at? Anything fun? Any price action? Well, last week was a bit of a mess, it seemed. I haven't paid much attention this week, only yesterday and today, really. I got to take it one day at a time here, because well, the kids are home from school. It's all this distance learning stuff. So basically, I'm a school teacher now for 2 kids, and they're in different classes all day doing that. So that's my focus, and it's keeping aware of this, doing that. So
is that because of what's going on with the war thing? Is that they're so they've closed down the schools?
Yeah, exactly. The government here, the Minister of Education said, no, schools can't open. We can't have 1,000 kids in a school with exploding drones over. You know, it's not going to work. And also, a lot of the kids have left. A lot of families have left. If the schools are open, it's going to be running at half capacity anyway. So no point. But the schools are running, just doing everything with Google Meet and Zoom and all kinds of file transfers and whatever. Yeah. But you know, it's cool. I like having the kids at home. It's great. Keeps me away from the stock market. That's a good thing. But anyways, I'm taking it that way, one day at a time. We had a few big explosions yesterday right overhead, and that got the kids a bit frightened. So spending the whole day with them. I didn't really look too much at the market.
I can't imagine, Avi. There was a thunderstorm here last night, and my girls were worried. Not worried about freaking airplanes and like, how much do they know about what's going on? Like
they know a fair bit, because you know it's interesting, when on the first day of the war, on the 28th of February, we were at the Palm Jumeirah out here. We were at a hotel, and we're using the beach and the pool and all that stuff. We were outdoors, and suddenly we start hearing these bangs and booms, and there's alerts start going off on the phones, and everyone at the pool is talking about the missiles and stuff. Like, what is going on? So they were with me. We were just enjoying the water slides, and then I had to kind of start explaining that to them. So very, very slowly, when this is a little dangerous. You know, they're trying to shoot each other. They're not shooting at us. There's people this thing called the military, and they're fighting right now.
Yeah, holy shit.
And then they see F-16s go overhead, and then I start talking. You know, F-16's got a single engine, single pilot, fly-by-wire control system. I just start having fun with it. You know, just and now they know exactly what an F-16 is. They know what a drone is. You know, cruise missile. They're all different things. So they're pretty aware. They're very good. They're aware, and they know when there's a big boom. We have a place in the home that's more sheltered than the other rest of the home, so they go there. They know what to do. So that's good. But the ones yesterday were much louder than before. They were like 5 in a row. Boom, boom, boom. It was just whoa. They were intercepted basically overhead, and about 5 kilometers away, some debris fell on some homes. So yeah, they had to go sort that out. That was interesting, but keeping an eye on it all. So as far as trading and showing up online and all that is concerned, I'm just going one day at a time. First things first, take care of the situation. And then if I can focus and trade and be online, great, I'll be here. No problem. Like right now, they're asleep, so that's good. Figure I'll put them to bed early and come out here. But yeah, there you go. It's an experience for them.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for sharing. That's incredible. I can't imagine, how those poor little, they're young, they're kids, they're afraid, So I'm sure you're keeping them confident, and I don't know. I'm trying to think of the words, but yeah. I'm a dad of 2 kids of similar ages, so I can't imagine. I mean, I can't imagine what you guys are all going through. So hopefully everything gets rectified sooner than later.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Hopefully soon. I don't want to have to get displaced and go spend months in some other country. I actually quite like it here. It's nice, especially with the lack of traffic nowadays. It's great. but it's just gotta stay awake, stay aware of it. But what's interesting, what I did with them yesterday, just to help them feel better. These booms went off at about noon, but after they're done with school, so about 4 p.m., 5 p.m., around the time that New York session opens, I took them out to a skate park nearby and showed them, look, there are a lot of kids here, like 10 kids out there skating and skateboarding. I took my skateboard to them, like, let's go skate. Just spend the whole evening out with them. That's why I wasn't online yesterday, just to help them feel like, hey, life is good, life is normal. There are no booms and bangs and explosions. And look at that, we have to still pay the parking meter and park the car and go jump off these ramps and all that stuff. So just do the normal stuff, and in a fun way, it's like the best way to get over fear is to go face it. So you're afraid of going out because you're afraid of debris falling. We'll go out and see. And we did that. So I'm doing a lot of that at the moment, of course, keeping aware, keeping a mind on everything. As soon as the alerts go off, that's it. Put the roof back on the convertible and go home. So, those sorts of things.
Have you ever dealt with anything like that before?
Oh yeah, this is my third war.
Oh yeah, where?
First was the Sri Lankan Civil War. I was a little kid then. That started 2 years before I was born. And when I was 3, we decided finally to leave the country. And that war went on for 30 years. Man, that was brutal. And so anyway, since we left, that was 1988. Been in Dubai since, basically. And then there was the 91 Gulf War, which we all know about, Kuwait and Saddam Hussein, all that stuff. I was in Dubai then, and we evacuated. We went to Sri Lanka, spent about a month there before coming back, by the time the US did their thing, or the coalition did their thing. And now we have this. And of course, last 20 years, we've had Iraq, Afghanistan, all that with that. I was mostly in the US during that, and Dubai had nothing to do with it anyway. But for me, this is the third one, and so it's I'm not terrified exactly. I know what to do, keep aware of it. But for kids, that's a different thing. You got to really kind of find a way to take the opportunity to show them how to be safe and to be aware of the world, learn things, stuff like that. I'm trying to do it that way, rather than just shelter them and inspire fear. You don't want to inspire fear.
Yeah.
Try to do things that way. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. They're seeing their friends every day with the online classes from different corners of the world. It's great. Zoom calls like we're doing right here, Google Meet, all this. It's all right. Well, that's how the world goes around.
All right, 1:30. I gotta head out, Avi. But thanks for sharing. And
absolutely.
I'll try to log in next time you're on as well.
Sounds good. Thanks for hanging out, Joe.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers. See ya.
Avi, you want to post your chart settings in the general or one of the other sections?
I I thought I just did now. Didn't
Did
I?
you? Okay, I didn't see it.
I did it in. Wait, I did it in screenshots. Let me. Yeah. Thanks. I'll post it. I'll post it in I guess general for now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. Some reason I chats and can't see chat very well on a phone.
That's cool. Thanks for reminding me. I don't keep
Sure.
up with these stuff too much, so thank you. There we go. Cool. There we go. Super trends. That's funny. Came out saying super trends. Anyways, cool. That's fun. I don't know what else do we have here. Whoopsie. I keep doing this. I keep zooming everything the wrong way. So this is interesting. If you look at the MES right now, again, we have this consolidation. You have a pretty flat level. You have a tremendous amount of buyers just above that resistance, but they haven't gone anywhere. It's just still sitting in the zone. Once it goes away, then I'll get interested on for the retest. If it's not too late at night here. Right now it's already 9:30. So wait and see. Let's look at the MNQ, probably doing the same thing. Yeah, same idea. But what's interesting here, if you look at the footprint, lots of selling up here. Ooh, interesting. This is a big struggle to move. Oh, look at that, straight down. See it in real time. And this is a bit of an anomaly. There's lots of selling, right? And then just now we had a lot more buying. Basically in the same place, but a lot more market buyers. And look at that, it dropped. So be careful. There's some activity going on here. Lots of shares are changing hands or something. Something to watch out for. Or Russell. This chart is just static. Nothing to look at. Dow Jones, yeah, same thing. Nothing. Higher highs and lower lows for now. Can't trust it. Oil is just chopping around. Should get rid of this level. There's no relevance anymore. Oh wait, that was from here. Yeah, I just leave it. You can see one of the key things, of course, as you know, when I'm looking to trade, is room to the left. And this price action where it is now, it's been here for many hours. There's no room to the left. The one you can identify this as a consolidation and wait for a breakout up or down. And right now there's no indication of a breakout up or down even, because there's no higher highs or lower lows or anything. It's just going sideways. So be careful with this. Gold, yeah, we were looking at this a minute ago. This is fine. See this now with the consolidation level, with the higher lows, false breakout, and with the false breakout right here, look at all this green. Green is telling you lots of aggressive buyers, but unable to go through. So what that's saying is there were a tremendous amount of patient, big sellers, and they're in charge. Pushed it down so far. Those aggressive buyers were not able to go through them. And so, of course, no breakout. Again, this is why I don't like to trade the breakouts. Wait for the retest. If you were just looking for breakouts, you identify a level. As soon as it makes a new high, you start seeing a new volume up there. You start hitting the button to buy. You buy, put your stop below, and you're stopped out. This happens most of the time, people trying to catch breakouts. So don't try to catch breakouts. My method is simply wait for the breakout to happen, let it go. If it goes and comes back and bounces off, that bounce off, that retest, that's the one. That's where you get a higher win rate. You don't get lost in all this mess. So for now, gold, forget about it. Silver is the one that seems to be doing it, moving. Again, the breakout happened with the buyers above the resistance, right? See it right there. Very good. Looks like they're still coming in. Very good. Let it go. I want to see a good momentum move, then come back and catch a retest later. Again, if it's not too late. There we go. Good stuff. Huh? Oh boy, here we go again. Look at that. Okay, I just got another missile alert. You guys see that? Stay away from windows and all that. Okay, I got it. I got it. Here we go. Iran. The Iranians have woken up tonight. It always happens at night. Your phone's on the way. So if the screen goes blank right now, you guys know exactly what happened, right? I don't hear anything. I don't hear any booms. What's good is here they send the alerts to your phone based on your location. So apparently those drones are coming this way at the moment. This part of Dubai. I'm in the south part of Dubai. So let's see. Hopefully the F-16s can take care of that. Oh, look at that. As soon as we get a drone alert, silver drops. Something. Start trading with this. Oh. Anyways, I don't see much going on with this market. Now let's stop the recording.
Avi, you need to come out to Colorado. Bring the kids.
Yes, 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 yes.